Did you know that the mental health report released by World Health Organization shows that 1 out of 8 people globally has a mental health disorder, which equates to 970 million people? In Tanzania, children and young adults aged 0 to 24 years struggling with mental health issues don't always have access to adequate care because they lack understanding about mental illness and its causes, leading to mental health crisis. Mimi ninaamini katika kuweka kipaumbele afya zetu za akili, na ndio maana hii season hailengi pekee katika kukusaidia kuelewa hali ya afya akili nchini Tanzania, lakini pia inalenga kukusaidia uwe na uelewa mzuri wa afya akili. Please tune in for all of this information. Hey guys, how is it going? So welcome back to episode 19 of Mental Glow with Jacqueline Auden, where tunakuelimisha wewe kuhusiana na afya akili na tunakuhamasisha wewe kujali na kutunza afya yako ya akili. So kama ni mara yako ya kwanza kabisa kusikiliza Mental Glow, tafadhali ungana nasi kupitia Twitter and Instagram page at Mental Glow TZ, na kama una swali lolote au unataka kuongelea chochote kuhusiana na Mental Glow au hata kama una ushauri wowote, tafadhali usisite kututumia direct message au hata email. Unaweza ukaandika comment yako and we would definitely get back to you and we would truly appreciate your inputs. So let's talk about Ahadi App. I'm also excited nikifika katika hii part ya kuongelea Ahadi App kwa sababu it's something that I've really thought about. Alafu mwisho wa siku you guys get to have the opportunity to access wanasihi pamoja na wanasaikolojia tiba. Kwa hiyo it's very good thing kwa sababu unapata elimu kupitia Mental Glow, alafu pia unaenda kupata access ya professionals kupitia Ahadi App. So for those who it's their first time to tune in, Ahadi ni application ambayo inakukutanisha wewe pamoja na wanasihi na wanasaikolojia tiba, na pia ukiachana na therapy part, kuna different other features ambapo ya kwanza ni helpline. Kama una swali lolote au una concern yoyote, unaweza kaandika swali lako na ukapata majibu, na pia kuna part ya journal ambayo unaweza kutumia katika kuandika different thoughts, different emotions, ukazi-express kupitia journaling, ambapo unaweza kuandika kwa maneno na pia kuongea kwa sauti. Kwa hiyo it's a very 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 interesting app, na pia itakusaidia wewe pia katika ku-nurture your mental health, kuangalia progress uliyokuwa nayo by writing your gratitudes. It can be daily gratitudes, morning gratitudes, weekly gratitudes. So as you keep on processing na kuangalia, unaweza ka reflect back na angalia ulipotoka na ulipo na unapoelekea. So guys, Ahadi application is very 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 essential and very important kwa kila mmoja wenu ambaye unasikiliza sasa hivi kuwa nayo katika simu yako. Just imagine being able to access mental health services kwa kupitia simu yako, and you just have it kwenye kiganja chako. Sasa unasita kitu gani? Maana you guys have been asking me questions like wapi nitapata huduma ya kisaikolojia au huduma ya afya ya akili. Now you have it kupitia kiganja chako. So don't hesitate, right away ukimaliza kusikiliza hii episode, tafadhali go and install the app kupitia Play Store. Just search Ahadi na utapata kuiona na kuinstall directly. Ahadi, like AHADI, Ahadi. And it's very promising, just the word itself inakupromise wewe kuwa na afya bora ya akili. So please guys, do install the app. So after talking about Ahadi, let's get back to our main topic of today. And today we'll be talking about fear. Watu wengi tunakuwa kuwa limited kufanya vitu vingi sana kutokana na hofu tuliokuwa nao au fear tuliokuwa nayo. Kwa hiyo mwisho wa siku uoga tuliokuwa nao inapelekea kusitisha vitu vingi sana, kubaki tu just in our heads and not doing things. Na pia tunajiepusha kufanya vitu fulani kwa sababu tunahisi kwamba we cannot do it, or if we try to do it something bad may happen, you know. So today we'll be talking about fear, na naamini kwamba ukimaliza kusikiliza hii episode itakusaidia wewe kuji-assess na kuangalia where is the trigger, what triggers your fear, and how can you overcome that trigger, you know. So it's a very short and very interesting episode, and I do hope that you guys will be able to relate to the content and also reflect on yourselves. Alafu pia definitely do share this episode with your friends, kwa sababu mwisho wa siku it impacts our lives. Watu wengi wamekuwa wakipambana sana, lakini just the fact that they are afraid of something inawafanya kwamba wasifikie pale ambapo wanatamani siku wafike. So this is very a nice episode for each one of you out there who are struggling with overcoming your fear, and other times wengine hawajui hata triggers ni nini, why are they even afraid. So in this episode, guys, we'll be talking about all that. So let's start by asking yourself these questions, like, what are you afraid of? And I actually don't mean concerned or a little nervous, hapana. I mean genuinely terrified. Like, what are you terrified of? Like, are you afraid of hate? Kuna wengine wanaogopa hate, me included. But then right now I'm learning to face my fears. Like, ikitokea opportunities involve mambo ya hate, I'm just like, I want to go out for it, you know. So what are you afraid of? Just take a moment and ask yourself, if mimi ninaogopa kitu gani? Like, just take a moment and think about it. Like, what is it that I am afraid of? And you just dig deep and try to think and reflect, like, what is it exactly? Unaweza ukajibu tu juu, lakini mwisho siku there is just the back print of it, like, what is it exactly ambacho unaogopa, you know. Wengine wanaogopa kwamba, like, and this is mostly for girls, like, wanaogopa kwamba the right person, the right guy, you know, the right guy will never come along, you know, like, you'll be lonely for the rest of your life. But then mwisho siku, if you think about it, if you try to dig deep na kuangalia hiyo fear imetokea wapi, what triggers it, what is it actually that unahisi kwamba you end up being alone. So just take a moment and think about it. What are you afraid of? So before we get into it, I just want to niseme hii quote ya Nelson Mandela. Inasema kwamba the brave man is not the one who has no fear. He is the one who triumphs over his fear. So don't say kwamba kwa sababu you're afraid of something then you're not brave. No, actually, you are brave only if you triumph over your fear. So this episode will help you to overcome your fear, will help you to face your fears. So please, let's get right into it. Okay, guys, so basically defining fear is really hard. Wanasema kwamba defining fear is like defining love, kwa sababu fear has been conceptualized and defined from many perspectives since the beginning of a recorded history, whereby in this we talk about philosophy and religion, in industrial civilization, in the sciences, and in psychology particularly. So in this episode tena define fear in a psychological perspective, ambapo inasema kwamba fear is an intensely unpleasant emotion in response to perceiving or recognizing a danger or threat. So like, unaweza kukaa ukatafakari kwamba una perceive kwamba kuna kitu kibaya kitatokea. So when you just think about it, ukaona huo mtazamo kwamba something bad might happen, you know, unaanza kuogopa. Fear inaanza kujijenga kwako. Kwa hiyo mwisho wa siku, it's all about you and what's in your head, what you think, na una mtazamo gani. And then when you think about it, you get that unpleasant emotion. Ile unpleasant emotion as a result of the perceiving danger or threat, ndo tunai term as fear. So The primary motive of all the forms of knowing fear, watu wengi wanakuwa wakipata changamoto like sijui ninaogopa kitu gani, lakini siwezi kufanya hichi kitu, lakini sijui kwa nini siwezi kufanya, na nahisi kama siwezi au ninaogopa kwamba kitu kibaya kitatokea. Lakini the primary motive of knowing fear is to be able to get rid of it. Lakini wengi wetu tumekuwa tukijua, lakini tunataka tu kuiname alafu tunaipotezea, like we just run away from it. We don't want to face and overcome it. So I just want you guys to be in a state where you get to at least gain power, mastery, and control over your fear. So let's look into how to know where your fear comes from, kwa sababu mwisho wa siku ukipata kujua what triggers your fear, or what is the root cause of that fear, itakusaidia wewe kujua ni jinsi gani unaweza ukakabiliana na hiyo fear, na jinsi gani unaweza overcome hiyo fear. So the first thing to do is locate the root of your fear. When you locate the root of your fear, as I've said earlier, itakusaidia this gives further insight into your reasoning, and helps us identify some of the ways that we can begin to face. So ukishajua kwamba okay, hii ni kwa sababu fulani, okay, now I know, you start to reason, and then inakusaidia wewe ku identify ni jinsi gani unaweza ukaanza kuiface hiyo fear. As for me, I am afraid of dying, and this is it. If you just ask me from nowhere, what are you afraid of, I'll be like, I'm afraid of death. Naogopa. And I've tried to ask myself, like, what is the root of all this fear, like of dying, you know? And nikaja ku realize kwamba it's just the fear of unknown. Like sometimes I have the feeling that like my fear of death, it's just the fear of unknown, because I don't know, like nobody knows. I don't know what will happen to me when I die. You know, like sijui nitakutana nani, like spiritually, religious wise, I'm a Christian, I'm a believer, but also there is just that part nikikaa nikitafakari, okay, there is life after death. I do believe that, like just the fact that kuachana na watu ambao umewazoea, and then just unafariki. Just imagine, guys. I don't know, like that's just it's something that you cannot explain, no kaeleweka. But then I am just afraid of it, and also not just about me dying, but also thinking about people I care about wakafariki. You know, it's something that I'm very afraid, kwa sababu I don't know what will happen. Sijui nini kitatokea after that. I don't know what will happen to them after dying. Na mimi sijui, like at some point it will change my life. So that's what I'm afraid of. And knowing kwamba it's just a fear of unknown, then how can I go about it? And that's just the other part ambayo tutaendelea baadaye hii, how to know the root cause of your fear. And so the second one, challenge yourself in small ways, you know. Chip away at the fear by taking small steps that force you to face it each day, each week, one step at a time. So second thing ni challenge yourself in small ways. Kama unaogopa kuongea mbele za watu, you know, you can start kidogo. It doesn't have to be a huge group of people. Unaweza ukasimama hata mbele ya watu wachache, you start, you talk, you raise your opinions, alafu mwisho wa siku hivyo unaongeza idadi. You know, you can even start kuongea peke yako chumbani kwako kwenye mirror. Imagine that the umekutana watu wengi wanakusikiliza, just picture that and start talking. So like try to challenge yourself. Kuna opportunity imetokea in normal circumstances ambapo uwezi uka go for it, lakini just challenge yourself to go for it. Alafu mwisho wa siku, you know, you get to see kwamba okay, I am doing better. Like if you entertain that fear, mwisho siku it won't get you anywhere, kwa sababu itaendelea limit, itaendelea kukupotezea opportunities za wewe grow and become a better person. So just challenge yourself, make it a spirit, make it a habit. Like, I want to challenge myself each day, each time ninapohisi kwamba ninaogopa au siwezi kufanya kitu fulani kwa sababu ya sababu 2-3. So just challenge yourself. And how can we now like reverse this whole thing of being afraid? Yeah, how can we reverse? How can we overcome it? So first thing first ni kwamba we need to face it. Kukimbia, kuepuka, it won't change anything. We will just be able to know, okay, the root cause ya fear ni hii. Okay, then what? Unapotezea, like, let me just bury it, unaipotezea. But we need to face it for us to be able to overcome that fear. So face it. Think of everything that you fear in your life, whether it is you're afraid of, let's say, being in a position where people rely on you, au unaogopa kwamba ukiprosper, like professional wise, you have so many responsibilities, alafu you just lose track of everything, like your personal time. So just think about it, know your fear, and then try to face it. Like, mwisho siku, when you just have things in your head, alafu hauface hivyo vitu ambavyo unahisi kwamba something bad may happen, mwisho siku you will just be thinking about it and doing nothing. So just try to face it. Okay, umehisi kwamba like when you prosper kwenye career, ukapandisha cheo, let's say, unahisi kwamba like kuna vitu ambavyo utakuwa unakosa. So just try to face it and see, like, is it going to happen like the way I thought it would? Like how I perceived it will happen. Like, tumesema kwamba fear is a unpleasant emotion in response to perceiving a danger or a threat. So when you think like being promoted kazini, it is a perceived threat or perceived danger. So just try to face it and see. Perhaps it will be an adventure. Perhaps it will be an opportunity for you to grow and also impact other people's lives, So try to face your fear and see in the process. Na mwisho wa siku ukiona kwamba okay, it's the same thing, it is as the way you perceived at first, then you can try to seek help. Uongee na watu ambao wamepitia katika mchakato huo na unaangalia opinion zao, wao kama wao wanasemaje, how were they able to get through it. So so just try in learning and getting to know different things and different experiences. The only way to do it is to face things, and so the same applies to fear. Try and face your fear. And also, when you encounter positive experience each time, it can reduce the fear response. So like when you try to go for that promotion, kazini, and then you see the positive impacts, or when you see like there are rewards, reduce ile fear response. So you be like, I should have gone for it a long time ago. Kwa nini nilikuwa ninaogopa? Kitu chenyewe sio cha kuogopa, So sometimes mostly I believe kwamba fear ni inakuwa tu in our heads na ina to prevent sisi ku act, like your thinking ina impact tabia yako, your behavior. So the unpleasant emotion ambayo umekuwa nayo as a result of the perceived threat or danger inaweza ikakulimit wewe ku act in a way that can help you to reach in a certain position or a certain let's say situation. So try and face it, and when you face it, then you'll be able to encounter positive experiences each time, na hii itakusaidia kupunguza fear. Unakuta kuna watu ambao walikuwa wanaogopa kuongea mbele za watu, lakini mwisho wa siku as they tried wakaona ni kitu cha kawaida, and then mwisho wa siku they're just good public speakers. So try and face your fears. wanasema kwamba being gradually exposed to situation that involves the fear over time inakusaidia wewe ku overcome the fear. So try and face your fear. So thank you so much, guys. This was a very, very short episode ambapo I really wanted to talk about this. I really wanted to talk about fear kwa sababu naweza nikasema ni changamoto like watu wengi wanakuwa they don't live up to their fullest potential kwa sababu they're afraid. And then when you try to ask like, what are you really afraid of, they have no clue. But deep down they do. It's just that they don't want to dig deep and search from within na kufahamu like what exactly they're afraid of. So listening to this episode, I want you to keep on asking yourself. Just try to assess and think and reflect like, what exactly are you afraid of? And when you get it, and when you know it, kwamba I am afraid of this, and then ask yourself like, what is the root cause of that fear? Like, locate the root cause of that fear. And when you locate that root cause of that fear, then challenge yourself. Just challenge yourself in small ways. It may be pointless to other people, but then it makes sense to you kwa sababu you're trying to get from one position to the other. You're trying to grow as a person, and you're trying to overcome your fear as a person. Ambapo ukisha overcome that fear, it will help you to reach in a certain position ambayo ukiwa na hiyo fear hautaweza ku reach into that position. So locate the root cause. Second thing you need to do is challenge yourself in small ways, and also face it, challenge and face it. Go for it. You have different opportunities presented to you, and you're afraid like, I don't think I can do it. I'll suck, How are they going to see all those questions? They create this negative emotion or unpleasant emotion. Just face it, and you'll see, like, was it as the way you perceived at first? So just face it. The only way to know things, the only way to really see and understand things is by facing them. So face your fears, and I believe kwamba mwisho wa siku unapopata zile positive response or unavo encounter positive experience, then ina reduce ile fear ulokuwa nayo. Like as for me, I can say in this podcast journey, like I can't even listen to my own podcast, my own voice, like it's just so crazy. But then for me it was like I was afraid like, how is it going to turn out, like I don't have a good recording set, I don't have a studio to go, like it would just sound awful to people. Like in mwisho siku I was like, you know what, let me face it, I am afraid that all these things might happen. Like in mwisho siku I know it might come out great. So I was like, you know what, let me just go for it. So I faced it, and here I am, like I'm improving each day. It may suck at first, lakini mwisho wa siku you're learning from experiences. Sasa ukikaa ukianza kuona unaogopa, you don't do anything, how are you going to learn? How are you going to prosper? How are you going to change? So just face anything you feel like that you're afraid of, anything you feel like that you can't do, or you feel like you're limited with wakati in real sense you're not limited to do. It's just you being in your head. So just go for it and face it. Trust me, you'll learn a lot. Trust me, you'll be like, it's not that hard after all, what was I afraid of? Like, yeah. So just take a moment and ask yourself, and when you ask yourself, you get to figure it out, and then just try to locate. And when you locate, challenge yourself, and then you face it, and then you get to see the response. Baadaye pale unapoona unapata like the positive experiences kutokana na the way ulivyoamua kufanya hivyo vitu, ku face your fears. So thank you so much, guys. It has been an interesting episode to me, like talking about it, kwa sababu I don't like seeing people ambao wana vitu ndani yao lakini wanaogopa kuvitoa na kushare na watu wengine, kuimpact maisha ya watu wengine kwa sababu wanaogopa. Hii inaturudisha nyuma sisi kama wa Tanzania, inaturudisha nyuma sisi kama vijana, watu wazima. So please challenge yourself and put yourself out there. Just challenge yourself to put yourself out there and show the world what you've got, right? It's a deal, yeah? So thank you so much, guys, for listening. And again, please do install a Hadi application for your own well-being, mental health well-being. And please do share this episode with your friends and your loved ones. Tafadhali usikae tu kasikiliza alafu ukabaki nayo mwenyewe. Try to share this with your friend. Kuna watu wengi sana angaika, wanapata changamoto na ni jinsi gani unaweza kutoka sehemu moja kwenda nyingine, ni jinsi gani unaweza ku overcome their fears, ni jinsi gani unaweza kukabiliana na changamoto za afya ya akili, kwa sababu mwisho siku ukiwa na fear inaweza hata affect the way you manage your emotions, the way you relate with other people. So just share this episode with your friends and your loved ones, na other episodes that you've listened and ukajifunza vingi. Please do share, yeah? So thank you so much, guys. Until we meet again kwenye episode 20, where we'll be talking about parenting. I'm super excited for the next episode, guys, so please do tune in. We'll be talking about parenting, and I do hope you'll be able to learn a lot, kwa sababu tutaenda kuongelea specifically kwenye context yetu ya Tanzania na jinsi malezi yalivyo, sharing different experiences za malezi. So please do tune in and tell a friend that the next episode is going to be legit. Until we meet again, guys, do share your opinions. Do share if you have any questions. Please do ask kupitia social media zetu at Mental Glow TZ, Instagram and Twitter page. And if you want to send a direct message or even an email, please do so. And yeah, having a Hadi application is very important for you and for your mental well-being. So until we meet again in the next coming episode, guys, this is to say bye.